First game of the day today is going to be a game called Sova. Yeah, this game looks really sick. We're gonna play this for an hour, and then we're gonna have the developers on just like normal for all the interviews. And I'm really excited to play it. I'm gonna try it with controller and mouse and keyboard. I think at the same time. Yeah, the artwork is really nice. Actually, I'm gonna play this with mouse and keyboard. Look at the art on that. Oh. So there's a moment where you can do the gun correctly. Like that, instead of like that. I don't know if that changes anything. Maybe not. You have to time it. Or I'm out of bullets. I'm out of bullets. Started striking a cone. Cool. We have a Q. Cool. The cone strike is really good. Shift is a knockback, it looks like. Maintain a defensive barrier. That's cool. Nice. We get a bloom into a slow trap. Mold a root into a spike trap. Decay a corpse. Okay, so we can turn corpses into bombs. That's kind of cool. I like that. You dead set on doing this? Yeah, I need to go out. Burnick scratches his head. Look. Even if you find him alive. Oh, we have like an option. Look. That was interesting. So it looks like we could have cut in. There was like an intrusive thought there with a timer on it. I turned off chat blur. I turned it off. Sorry about that. But it looked like we had an intrusive thought mechanic there. I find that to be very fascinating, actually. I know the risk. He's still going to do it. But I'm still going to do it. He sucks air through his teeth. It's a weird one. I ain't talking you out of it. No stopping you once you set your mind to something. Dead set. You said it yourself. You gotta be alright, kid. Any tips before I venture out? Conjecture is tricky. Shifting, dangerous. But you already know that. True, I just never went too far from Hive. You're fast, though. Faster than me, even. Use that. Never thought you'd admit it. Yeah, well. Dire times, kid. Grab a loadout that suits you. Practice as much as you need. Simulacra won't care. Alright. If things go to hell, run back to Hive. No shame in it. Got it. Yeah, just come back. Colm's gonna miss you if you die. And kid, if you do find Corbin, tell him he's a shithead for leaving you. Hold to become invisible and create a decoy in your place. Release to detonate the decoy. I like invisible. That's kind of neat. Yeah, it's a cool defense. I like that a lot. Let's try the other one. The other one's the barrier. Which I don't know which one I like more. I'm gonna go with that. Melee attack. Heavy style. Cutter. Versus blade dance. Versus lunge. I like that. Double-barreled shotgun. Okay. Versus sharps. Versus court. Cool. 6-shooter with solid rate of fire. Perfect shots have increased damage and crit chance. Long-barreled precise revolver has small ammo capacity and deals lackluster damage on its own, but its perfect shots are extremely deadly. Let's try that one. 75 versus 15. Okay. So that's the play well, the video game. Fires a projectile that hits a new target each time. Okay, so that bounces. I like the idea of the fan of knives more, and mostly because I can just do that, and it hits a bunch. I'm probably going to go with Coach as well, because that hits a lot. Yeah. So instead of having to do it well, you can just shotgun blast the face. I like that. Melee special, I do like the lunge. Yeah, it feels good. And I'm gonna go with balance style. And seeming. Alright. I like this overall. The build feels right, even if it might not be right yet. Oh, he's gonna be sad if I'm dead. Let's not go. Lean to the fence. Colm seems lost in thought. Enjoying the sunrise? Oh. Hey, Sov. Didn't see you there. Aren't you supposed to be lookout? Yeah, well, I mean, it's in the name. I look out. You'll be seeing much more of me outside now. Gonna ghost out again? No, I'm a real outrunner now. Oh, yeah. Reddick said you're claiming the path. How does it feel? I'm so much stronger now, I can lift small rocks. There we go. That's so chaffed. Anyone can lift small rocks, Colm. He eyes you intently. I want to believe you. Well, I should get back to it. Someone's got to watch the world so it doesn't forget itself, you know? Yeah, time for me to head out too. Be careful out there, Sov. I'll be fine. Want to do this properly? Colm straightens up in his best attempt to sound formal. And so I'll watch you from afar. Great speed, you. Outrunner Sova. Wipe the sleep from your eyes, observer. Be safe. An observer? Look at that. I love that her at rest stance is sword on the shoulder. You see so many times characters that have it, like, you know, at their hip in a scabbard. And it's just very interesting to see that kind of, like, stance like that. Oh, not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either. I got stuck in a wall. Gotta get used to it. Guns are spooky. What is this? Taking damage applies guarded effect to the player for a few seconds. Block damage 20%. Melee attacks do additional lightning damage. Done. Oh, I don't know what those are. Can I break stuff? I broke that and it released a blue and a thing. There's a resource in the top left. Can I climb this? Yeah, no climbing. Yeah, breakables are quite fun. Primordial skills, echoes. I'm gonna go this way because that one's red. Red seems cool. Oh, got stuck in a wall again. Scared of that. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay, it's not a bomb. I thought that was gonna be a bomb. I was like... Okay, I don't know what the red material is, but we're getting different materials in the top left. Oh, there's seals. I have to unseal it. What is that shit? Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. Ow. Alright. Percent of damage received is mitigated and reflected back on the attacker. Disgusting, to be honest. Negate a death blow and heal. Increase damage when near death. I'm gonna do We're All One Body. That's a really cool idea, is you reflect the damage onto the opponent instead of taking it yourself. The range locking you in place feels like it's not worth it. A lot of the times I'm finding. More resources. Targets affected by defense's secondary effect become vulnerable. Okay. Taking damage applies guarded effect on the player for a few seconds. I'd rather do this. God damn it. Yeah, the game feels really solid. I'm getting stuck on geometry, I think, right now, because I'm not used to the way that it moves quite yet, but it feels really, really nice overall. The music's gone. That means it's dangerous, whatever it is. A little bit of a big fear there, you know? Let's check out the area first. Got resources, cool. I kind of want to try this in controller real quick. Yeah, that feels really good on controller. I think I prefer this on controller. There we go. What are you doing over there, man? Oh, that's what's going on. Damn it. Alien thing. That alien thing is horrible. What happened? Wait. Was I just supposed to... I wasn't supposed to kill them? Okay. Increased gain of purity of body when eschewing thinny rewards. What does that mean? What does that mean? Additional levels 1. Additional crit chance 25%. Additional max health 120%. Additional luck 1.3. What? Negated death blow and heal. Increased damage and duration of effects by invocation activated traps. What does that mean? I'm going to do perfect form. I don't know what that means, but it seems insane. Yeah, I guess I just had to survive. I thought I was supposed to kill. I got a lot of HP still. Encounter. Meet someone. Change a thing. Hi. Oh. A stranger. Got her to really hunker down, right? Yeah, he would do that, wouldn't he? That sneaky Pete. I mean, I kind of get... What's that? Oh, I see. Lady, who are you talking to? She suddenly turns, startled. A second later, she sprouts a heartfelt smile. Oh, hey there, love. I didn't see you at all. Well, I heard you pitter-pattering around, those tiny feet and all. But I thought it must have been a badger or something. Right. Yeah. See, this morning, I was just starting my second snack. You know, I usually only eat one. But here I am thinking, you know, I might just go for seconds. Then one jumped out of nowhere and blam, made me jump out of my pants. What do you mean, what did you eat? She claps loudly to illustrate the point. You can't fix her, chat. No. 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 Spilled my coffee all over. So I thought, you know, okay, so it wasn't eating people. Got it. It's coffee. Not this time, you won't. Fool me twice and all that. Her laugh is contagious and disarming. I'm Lake, by the way. Like a pond, just bigger. Nice to meet. I guess there was probably bigger ponds. But I met a pond once, and she was really tiny. So that checks out. But you're telling me your name. I'm sorry. I'm so rude. I'm gonna shut up now. Sova. What's that? My name. My name is Sova. Oh. Oh, that's a lovely name. It's an absolutely gorgeous name. I wish I had your name. You're a fae. I wish I had your name. Can I have your name? I'm gonna say I'd prefer to keep it. As you should. Her voice gets serious all of a sudden. Names are important, my dude. Don't lose it. And don't give it up freely. So tell me about yourself. What you up to? What's your story? I'm on a quest to find the constant. I'm looking for my brother. I'm on the quest to find the constant. That's a bit of a walk, but it's exciting. Filled with wonder and danger. Be much of a quest otherwise. Exactly. I can't wait to hear all about it. So I'm thinking, you know what you need? What's that? Me. She bobs a curtsy and flashes a smile. Storyteller. Someone to tell your story. Just the way it happened. Well, maybe with a bit more flair. People love origin stories, you know. The scrawny kids scaling the rooftops of the hive suddenly turned an adventurer roaming the land in search of the mythical constant. Wait, how do you know? Action and drama and romance. Well, we'll work on that anyway. Anyway, dibs on the top bunk. Wait a minute. Just kidding. I'll find you around occasionally. It's gonna be great. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, they're like a fey bard, dude. Don't trust them. It's a bad idea. You know, you and I are gonna be like two peas in a pod. Like cookies and milk. You'll see. You're a weird person, like... I like you too, Sov. Well, now, it's high time we get on and carp the hell out of this DM. You know what I mean? I guess, dude. See you around. Can't wait to hear more stories from you. Okay. Okay. We got kind of interesting, weird characters. Landmark. A nexus of stories and conflicts. Let's do it. Oh. Hey, man. Now hold it right there. A short, jittery man guards the entrance to the camp. I'm gonna have to ask you to identify yourself, man. Hi there. I'm Sova. Hi, I'm Kurt. But I mean, I need you to state your business here. See, I'm obliged to prevent bandits, ne'er-do-wells, and poor folks from entering the premises, ma'am. You keep poor people away? Kurt opens his mouth, then shuts them again. Well, I mean, if that's the way you want to put it. That's what you just said. He clears his throat. What I meant was, this is a place for merch trading, and for pilgrims of the curtain, I suppose. The curtain? Iron curtain. That's the big door there in the upper part. The one with them lights and the zaps. What's so special about it? It's very special, it is. Mr. Silkman says so. It speaks to him, you see, and he listens. And people come to see it? All kinds of people come. They ask their questions, but it only talks to Mr. Silkman. And I reckon some folks try to open it too, but the curtain zaps them. Zaps them? Well, the curtain's very... He purses his lips. Temperamental. How does the gate work? It asks you stuff, with flying pictures, and it makes you choose, and fit it all together, and then it zaps you when you get it wrong. What are the questions? Beats me. It's all, symbolics and whatnot. You know, mental force. Silkman's got all fancy words for them, though. Mayhaps you go ask him. But he don't share much with strangers. What's inside the gate? I really like the storyline and the world building in this. Yeah, Kurt shrugs. Only Silkman knows for sure. And he ain't telling. That's about all I know. So you gonna let me in? Oh, for sure. You seem like a decent enough person, on account of being all polite and asking me questions. So I'll just recite them rules at you before you go in. 1. No ill tensions. 2. No sticky fingers. And 3. Silkman's word is law. Cool. See you, Kurt. Alright. A bundle of dust. For 300 blue. What is dust? What is blue? What does any of this do? Gain a skill. Choose from 3 volitic skills. For the next 4 stages, your blades will deal 25% increased damage. So we get a skill, and then also we get a buff from that. Adds another dash token. That's kind of cool. That means I get multiple dashes. Oh, look at this dude. Gasher, the goon leader. He's gonna bash your skull in, Bert. He wouldn't do that, would he? Would he? Silkman does whatever Silkman pleases. Whatever the gate tells him to. Right. Except most of the times, that's what the gate wants. Sits neatly in line with what Silkman wants. Because he speaks for the gate. Right, right. So if Silkman wants to bash your skull in, if the gate wills it. Gasher. If the gate wills it and Silkman wants it, your skull's gonna be bashed in, is all I'm saying. I mean, I screwed up the answer for the second symbol. I got zapped, and that's that. No need for head bashing, right? I'm not gonna interrupt these guys, because it seems like a really bad idea. I got it for you on paper, dimwit. Would you lose the paper too? You did what? Well, I told him to burn it. You told me to throw it in a barrel. I told you to throw it in a barrel to burn it. In a burning barrel, you moron. Both of you, shut up. We got company. Who are you, girl? I am Sova. Nice to meet you. This look like a get-together? Get out of here before we invite you to the real party. All right. See ya. But now we know that there's a cool thing in a barrel. Where's the barrel? That's probably Silkman. We don't want to talk to the Iron Curtain yet. Where's the barrel? Goop Silkman and Bert? I don't want to goop anybody yet. There does not appear to be a barrel here. Maybe down below? No? As you're walking by the old fountain, a glint of something shiny catches your eye. Oh, let's look at it. Surprisingly, the fountain still holds water. Even more surprisingly, the water seems to be decently clear. The dwellers seem to be in the habit of throwing coins in it for luck. Let's throw one of our own for good luck. The coin makes a faint plop and immediately sinks to the bottom, joining its numerous brethren. The bottom is littered with coins. Leaning, take a closer look. Most of the coins are common and of little value, but amongst the hundreds of little nickel and zinc discs, one coin stands out. It seems to be made of metal and glass melded together. I'm gonna pick it up. You reach out and pull the coin out of the fountain, earning a couple of disapproving looks from the people around you. The coin is masterfully made, its intricate patterns of metal spreading like webbing across the glass surface. Someone might be interested in this. Hey man, you want a cool thing? No? I guess not. I'm gonna choose blades. Killing enemies with blades make you frenzied? Blade attacks deal more damage and cause a bleeding status. Yeah, let's do that. That's a great idea. Cool. Got a new ability. Let's talk to Silkman. Come closer, love. Let's break bread and palaver. Palaver? I don't know that word. The preacher sits on a jagged throne of scavenged ruin. His voice, a careful mix of honey and steel, projects authority and danger. Palaver? Yeah, I don't know that word. Hold D's course. Yeah, exchange ideas and widen our horizons. Get to know each other. Get to know each another just a little bit more. Palaver, then? His hawkish stare makes you oddly uncomfortable. Okay, let's talk. Top shelf. But see, I love the local slang. Like, yeah. I just like the local slang of these characters. I think it's really interesting, and it's, like, really cool writing, to be honest. Reminds me of, like, Shadowrun, right? Like, these guys, yeah, it's like parlay, right? I think he's trying to say parlay, but he's saying palaver. All of this seems like he said top shelf to say that that's cool. Like, this is good, you know? Like, a top shelf drink kind of a thing. I just like that. I like that a lot. But see, we stand on uneven grounds here. You know of Silkman, but Silkman doesn't know you, does he? Care to share your name, stranger? My name is Sova. Pleasure to meet you. Lovely name. Short and sharp. Yes, the gate will approve. The gate will approve of my name. Not just any old gate, love. Our divine egress. This Deus Ex Machina. Our techno-mechanical wonder wall. Iron Curtain. The gift from the king. Dawn loaded with his voice. Dawn loaded? Let's say the king. Let's ask him questions, right? His voice lowers to a whisper. The king in yellow, man. Oh, listen. Oh, that's not good. Silkman bows his head in reverence. The twin suns sink behind the lake. The shadows lengthen in Carcosa. It's a little bit of eerie. A little bit of King in Yellow. Yeah, I know where this goes. This is some cosmic horror shit about to happen, dude. The words are true and spoken to me by the curtain. I'll trust your word for it, Silkman. I'm the listener of his voice, man. The bearer of the words. Uh-huh. Look around, love. Our little piece of heaven is held together by string, and I hear its music. I dance to the jive and deliver us from the quiet. I'm gonna play into this dude's whatever he's doing, right? The void, man, the lukewarm death of the universe. It's what's left when we're all gone. You keep it at bay? I do my part, love. I hear the words, I dance to the music, and I pass along the jive. So gospel by Silkman? Don't even joke with that, man. I'm a true believer, right? A pure soul. And I'm afraid of the king's word. Time's a flat circle, love. And we're all just strutting along the edges. I'm gonna say 4. I'm just gonna be quiet. You got my attention. I'm gonna say, look, I'm just passing through. Sookman leans forward. Be that as it may, I recognize the iron and steel you're strapping. As he nods towards your belt, your hand instinctively reaches for the gun. And I recognize a killer when I see one. Then you know you should be careful with me, Soakman. We're all walking a tightrope, yeah, over the abyss. And if you gaze down, right, if you gaze down, the abyss gazes right back. Damn right it stares back. But I thread softly, and I listen, love. So when someone like you enters my camp, I get all attentive, yeah? He leans uncomfortably close to your face. And it just happens to be that you and I can find some common trust. But that's tomorrow's talk. And today you're passing over with my blessing. Consider it a favor. A hand-me-down for the new blood. You're too kind. Tell Kurt the boss man says you're good. He'll open up the passage for you. And love, steer away from Red Eye, if you can help it. Who? He's, you'll find out for yourself. Be it the king's will. Before you, an intricate tableau unfolds, ancient machinery bearing the weight of rust and varying degrees of defiance. A tangled web of pipes and cables encircle the structure. A rhythmical low hum ebbs and flows from its insides. The sound reminds you of some gargantuan beast sleeping in a metal well. A sense of dread grips you as you approach. The gate, or divine egress, Soakman called it, stands dormant and menacing in front of you. You stand in awe in front of the mechanical wonder. Touch the panel. The panel comes to life as you approach it, startling a group of insects nesting in its shade. A network of cables and pipes stream buzzes and a low synthetic hum. Neon lights flare up and change color as the machine wakes up. In the heart of it all, within your reach, a holographic symbol flickers suspended in the air. Each corner of the symbol, tethered to a pulsating point, appears out of place in perpetual misalignment. It beckons, yearning for adjustment, ready to be set in motion. Touch the projection. The symbol is tactile and solid in your hands, as if the projected light has somehow crystallized within the confines of the chamber. It feels slightly warm to the touch. For a thing made out of light, it offers a surprising amount of resistance and inertia. As if recognizing you, the panel springs to life. The buzz of the machinery welcomes you as you place your hand in the holographic chamber. At its center, a strange, sickly yellow symbol hovers in the air, pulsing expectantly. Interface with the machine. The primary sign disappears. In its place appears a symbol of symmetrical geometric shape, its 2 arms converging on its center. From it, 4 new symbols emerge, orbiting the central sign. Their tethers all point to one of the sunken platforms in front of the chamber. The machine wants you to choose. Inspect the central symbol. It might look like a pincer or a wrench, or outstretched arms. It may represent danger or a trap, but it doesn't feel threatening. If anything, it feels welcoming and warm. The primary sign disappears. In its place appears a symbol of a symmetrical geometric shape, its 2 arms converging on its center. From it, 4 new symbols emerge, orbiting the central sign. So that's the one. I'm going to step away. We don't have enough information to solve. Choosing randomly means we get zapped. Can we choose another one of these? We cannot. Yeah, I don't want to get zapped. Ma'am, I'd like you to park it right there. Relax, Kurt. Soakman says I'm good. He said that? He glances over your shoulder, visibly relieved. He did. He's very generous, Mr. Soakman is. Yeah, he's a real treasure. Well then, don't let me get in your way. Just, one thing. If you're heading into the Merc conjecture, that is, make sure you're steering clear of Red Eye. Soakman mentioned him too. Who is that? He's a monster. I mean it, ma'am. Be extra full of care. Okay, thanks for the tip. May the paths bend to your will, ma'am. So the conjecture is a randomized world, and I guess the constant is a place that is always the same. Which is quite cool. I think that's neat so far. Really digging the, I'm digging the kind of style that they have going on with this. The world building feels good. Nope. Can't do anything there. Praise the Omnissiah. There's a little bit of Omnissiah going on. Entropic resonance represents dissolution, randomness, and collapse. Voltaic resonance, or volitic resonance, is change in motion and assertion. We're going to go change in motion and assertion. Oh. Is it the barrel? There's got to be a barrel somewhere. Yeah. Maybe we can do that afterwards? I'm going to try that barrel afterwards, because if he said that he left it in a barrel, you know, like it's going to be in here somewhere. Killing enemies with blades makes you frenzied. Yeah, I like that. Okay, that door opens. This was open the whole time. Yeah, there's nothing in these barrels. A pungent yet not entirely unpleasant scent tickles your nostrils. Overripe fruit. No. Perhaps a lentil pottage bubbling drowsily, mixed with an acrid chemical note. Tobacco? Smells like home. The warm and heavy aromas lull you into a comfortable stupor. Why is this place perfect? Though your nose says someone's here, your sight fails to harmonize. The only sign of animate dwellers of the non-cockroach variety is the portrait. Too many scents for such an empty room. Perhaps there's a family of gremlins out of the floorboards, cooking up a storm. It's rather stuffy. Open the window. That's how you get mold, your ma would always say. It wouldn't hurt to let some fresh air in. A shiver raises the goosebumps on your arm. The expanse of pristine hollowness recalibrates your perception of your own sense of self. I'm leaving it open. You're not afraid of a spot of darkness. Your life's work is wading through it head first. This one seems more darknessy than the usual run-of-the-mill darkness. This is weird. Yeah, this is weird, dude. A very comfy-looking couch draws your attention. You feel its allure, like a moth to a good, sturdy piece of furniture. The couch is indeed comfy, but only moderately so. Let's search it. Rifling through people's sofas for loose change is a superb way to acquire funds, provided that one does not get caught red-handed. True. Yeah, the visuals are really interesting. Like, the mental visualization of this game is phenomenal. A mother, a father, a daughter. A loving family. No faces? Oh, I don't like that. The paintings your mother took you to see at the museum were just as weird. The one with the wobbly arms and legs makes you giggle all the way back to the hive. Mom and Dad's fight when you came back through the secret tunnel, all covered in cobwebs, was not so fun. Was she a scavenger? You remember Dad sitting in that creaky rocking chair next to the window from time to time, staring out until Mom came back. You couldn't get him to get up, even to play hardwood hockey. They're staring down at you, or it's something else. Hard to tell on account of them not having eyes. I'm going to look more closely. You feel as if you're a hair's breadth away from distinguishing each face. The image hovers on the edge of your perception. Examine the brush strokes. The squiggly lines start spinning in a rhythmic, mesmerizing pattern. Each of the little spirals magnifies in front of your eyes, revealing a whole cosmos with a tiny spot. That's cosmic horror. That's not good. You witness the creation and destruction of multitudes of stars, and the time it takes for you to blink. Oh God, keep your eyes open. Keep looking. You force yourself not to blink, somehow knowing that when you do, the insight into the minuscule universe within each particle will be gone. Teardrops run down your cheeks as you take in the magnificence. Keep looking. You push through the pain, trying to see how this little universe ends. Galaxies expand until all the light has died out. Entropy is one. You finally blink. Why? Why, though? I just had a staring contest with a painting without eyes. I can smell you there, fledgling. The square is a butcher's map, a chaos of strewn bodies, blood pooling in the cracked hollows of ancient stone. At the center, a warrior towers, a beast in form and fury, wolfish snarl smeared with grime and crimson. He's heaving jagged breaths, wet and feral, fingers twitching, aching for flesh to tear. Your sweat. He's a lunatic. Yeah, we're gonna attack him. One more to the pile. Nah. Oh, he hurts. Oh, wrong button. It's this one. Ow. Stuck on a wall. Very cool. Honestly, my dash is doing 132 damage. Like, it's disgusting. I think probably just gonna keep doing the dash. I could kill him with dash alone. Yeah, he's gonna die on the next dash. Oh, he just died to bleed. Do you see it? The thread of light. You lost, beast. Just a strand, a fleeting thing. Almost. At it. Alright. You were worth 4 of the red thing. Alright. That's a lot of bodies in here, man. This guy's killed a lot of people. He's killed a lot of people. You cleared a run. Okay. This is not the end. Your choices will persist and the story will continue. Oh, this is a cool way to do the story. That's neat looking. I really like this, where it's all tied together. It reminds me of Obsidian. Obsidian's a tool that I use to do, like, narrative writing. It's free, by the way. It's freaking awesome, and it connects everything with nodes so that you can see how different writing things that you've done associate with each other. It's like creating an idea map, a web, right? Looks like very similar to this. It's quite nice. That was quite cool. All right.
Awesome.
If you'd like to introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Likewise. Of course. My name is Sasha. I'm a creative director in Entropic Studio, the game behind Sova. That just means I wear many hats and do a lot of different stuff. Yeah, happy to be here, and thank you for organizing the Indiecember. It's been a real blast so far.
I'm really glad you're enjoying it. I had a blast with your game here. It's fantastic. I am interested. How many people are on the team? Is it just you, or is it a lot of people?
No, there's quite a few of us. I think we're 8 in total, but most people are part-time or contractors. There's 5 people in the core team, 2 programmers, 1 artist, 1 in-house composer, and myself. So that's that's the team. We have people helping out with writing and project management as contractors as well. But yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm actually having a blast with this. I think it feels really good. The writing is impeccable. The music is really nice as well. I'm interested. What made you guys want to make this game? What was the reasoning, like in the very beginning? Because you could build anything. So what made this one the one that you guys chose?
I'm very glad you like it. This is the first time the game has been broadcast anywhere publicly. So I was very nervous watching you play for the first time. Yes. This is a very early version of the game. We're kind of just opening up to public playtests. So.
Well, hell yeah!
It's a bit rough around the edges, but yeah.
I think
awesome.
I think there's very little
scuff
when you're talking about that. Like honestly, I think there's very little scuff here, man. Like you say it's rough around the edges, but the only thing that I found that was weird was mostly me getting stuck on walls and things. And if this is your first public playtest, that's really good for a first public playtest. That's really good, man. Yeah.
Awesome, glad to hear that. Hopefully, I mean, there like just looking you play, there's definitely some stuff that we can see that they're just not working the way we intended, 100%. But yeah, I'm glad that you had fun. About making the game, kind of the idea for it. I don't know. I grew up on CRPGs, like Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, that kind of stuff. But I think Planescape Torment was the one that cemented in me what the games can be. Yeah, it kind of always wanted to make a narrative game, but also like roguelikes, so like fast-paced games and combat. Mm-hmm. And we kind of thought there can be a little intersection between, turn-based discussion and branching dialogue, and then fast-paced combat and this really hectic, chaotic combat. And we try to find that balance and make something that works well, blending those two together.
Yeah, no, I really, really like the conversation system. Being able to have that kind of intrusive thought and cut off the opponent on a timer, or not even the opponent, your conversational partner, I guess. I found that to be fascinating. That actually felt really, really cool, and it showed me there's an option here, and I have to think about if I'm going to take that option immediately, right? And like I'm not used to seeing that, so that was really interesting. I like that a lot. Can you talk a little bit more about how you guys implemented that? And what made you want to build it that way? Because that is rather unique.
No, absolutely. So there's this game called Katana Zero. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you played it, but if you didn't, please go and play it. It's amazing. It was the first time that I saw something like that implemented. So basically, it treated the dialogue not just like a strictly turn-based conversation. I say this, you say that. But kind of try to interject these moments of, actions that you can interrupt somebody or walk away from the dialogue or, So we wanted to expand on that a bit and, treat our dialogue as a living thing, as how people would talk, I guess. You can interrupt your opponents. You can, your interlocutors, I guess. Yeah. You can punch somebody in the face. You can shoot them mid-dialogue. So like that, I think that was very important for us to get right. And because this is more of a roguelike than an RPG, we're able to treat some of those dialogues as local encounters, and then do fun stuff with that, I guess.
Yeah, no, I really, really liked that. I thought it was quite cool, and it added a lot to the interaction that I had in those situations, And it's very interesting because I find a lot of the times you'll have a game that's either a roguelike or it's a narrative game, and you guys have gone very heavily into both at the same time in a way that feels compelling. Can you talk a little bit about your writing process? Because I interacted with a painting that turned rapidly into cosmic horror. It was way more dialogue, like way more writing in that than I thought there was going to be. So what is your guys' process for writing? How do you reach that point there?
Yeah, so I think everything that we do writing-wise serves to support the weirdness of the world and the world building, and to kind of pull you in to make the world more engaging, more alive, not just to serve a purpose as driving the plot, but also to kind of characterize where you are and what you're doing, but also to characterize your Sova as a character. The idea is, like everything that every option that you have. So in a branching dialogue, doesn't just push the story forward, it also informs you something. So if we give you 3 dialogue choices, each one of that is Sova's voice. Each one of that is very real possibility for her to say and do. So like even if you choose one, the other 2 should give you enough information to know what you're thinking and what you're doing as a character. I noticed you talked about the language, and I'm really glad you kind of got that and you like that, especially as a non-native English speaker. It's
that's hard.
We don't always know how that's gonna sound to people who are natives. I think having this weird, loosely defined world, this cultural blend helps a bit. Because we can play around with language and do interesting stuff. Like I think you mentioned Mad Max Fury Road at some point.
Yes.
And that was one of the really large inspirations behind how we approach language. Like aside from being the objectively best action movie ever made, and I will fight anybody who claims otherwise, this world building of theirs and the way they use language to sound just a little bit off. That's amazing to me, and I wanted to have that in the game, or at least try to capture that feeling. So using the phrases and words that are relatively commonly heard, but just a little bit off and just a little bit weird, to make it sound almost poetic, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, I really do like that, and it does add to the characters completely. And if you're not a native English speaker and you're wondering if this feels good from an English perspective, it does. It's got a lot of flavor and kind of like, I don't know, we have a lot of different sort of quirks of language all throughout the United States. We all say things slightly differently, right? And it just feels like another regional dialect, basically, in a way that it's almost like people remembering a word from a time when it meant something and it doesn't mean anything to them. Like they read it off of a sign and they're trying to sound it out and they've never actually heard someone say it, which that's why it reminded me of Mad Max or kind of even like Shadowrun almost, like or people who are in Warhammer 40K where they're like talking about like the old ways and they don't quite understand the word but they're using it, which is interesting, and I think that adds a lot to the world, so I think it's quite cool.
Awesome. Glad to hear that.
Also, all of the characters feel like they could kill me instantly. They're terrifying. It's like, even when they're nice, I'm like, you're probably a demon. Like, that's not... I don't want to trust you. No, you guys have done a really good job.
When everyone is a little bit of a demon, then
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
This guy's an alien with bullets. Horrifying. What are you guys thinking in terms of... Oh, sorry, go for it. What were you saying?
No, go ahead.
I was interested what you guys are thinking in terms of difficulty for this and what kind of modes and things. Because if this is really that early before you've had any playtests, is the intention for you to have this be like an endless kind of a runner? Does it just keep scaling up in difficulty? Is this like considerably like early game, or is this more of a mid-game kind of a feel? Like, what are you feeling on that right now?
I think what you're playing right now would probably be not exactly mid-game, but definitely not the start. The game is lacking a proper tutorial and like kind of onboarding to the mechanics. We just bombarded with everything that we have. And not everything is explained well. The difficulty is definitely going to scale a bit, but we don't want to make a hard game. This is more like a narrative game with a cool, fast combat. I don't think combat is going to be the primary focus in that sense. So we want people to be able to, experience the game and play it. But I think modern roguelikes have this good way to allow players to pick and choose their difficulty. and I'm definitely looking forward to implementing that and allowing players to, control how difficult their game is as they scale in power. There's meta progression, like you can use resources to buy perks and to scale your character between the runs, both vertically and horizontally as well. So with that scaling and with your knowledge of the game, we need mechanics to kind of increase the difficulty or to allow players to increase difficulty so that doesn't become stale. But yeah.
That's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about music and audio. Is like right now the music is amazing on this. I really, really liked it. It added a lot to kind of the environments for this. Are you guys planning on releasing like an OST with this? And then also, what is your process for building audio for the game right now? Do you take it, some studios will do it more from an emotional basis. Some of it do it more based on the action specifically. How is your guys' process for this?
Cool. So we have an internal in-house composer, and we've been working together for like 8-9 years in some capacity on different creative projects, so we know each other really well. I mean, most of the team has at this point. It took us a long time to get to this particular feel on the music. A lot of experimentation, a lot of kind of trying what feels good, and we kind of took great care to make sure the music fits the mood of the scene. So kind of it scales, it ramps up with combat, it reacts to what you're doing and to the difficulty of the fight. But we also have like certain moments, I don't think you got there, but there are certain conversations where music kind of intensifies based on your choices. So we're kind of trying to keep that mood reactive to your choices. So, only when the drama increases, the music follows. And it's a powerful tool, So we try to keep it, to use it to the best of our ability.
Yeah, I did notice that when, that intrusive thought was coming in where you could make the choice of like, kill this guy or don't kill this guy or interrupt the, the conversational partner you have. It did start to bring in like that audio of like, it's grating. Like this is bothering your character. And I thought that was a very interesting touch. So cool, like audio cues on that, something that you don't see a whole lot of. So I think you guys have done really well on that. It's very neat. I like it a lot.
Awesome.
I'm gonna ask you the tough question. You ready for this? This is a hard one.
Go ahead.
It's the one the chat loves the most. I want you to call your baby ugly. What does your game do the worst?
Oh, well, currently a lot of things.
Okay, fair. It's early.
Yeah,
it's super early.
That is a tough question. Yeah, definitely. There's got to be a lot more polish in the presentation and in the animations and mechanics, obviously. But I think the one that I'm most anxious about is the pacing. Kind of trying to get the right balance between fighting and narrative. Especially since we're sprinkling the narrative around your run, and you're one moment you're fighting, you're kind of thinking about your build and how to properly use your abilities and stuff, and then we pull you out and then you talk to somebody, and then that's going to take 5-10 minutes, and then we bring you back in. So kind of trying to find the proper pacing and balance so it's not disruptive. That's what I'm currently the most anxious about, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a very difficult thing to hit because that's the only way you can really fix that is lots and lots and lots of play testing. Yeah, that's about all you got. So it makes sense. That's the scariest thing imaginable in a fight.
But I am looking forward to seeing how people react to that, and I'm sure there's we did some internal testing, friends, family, obviously, but and. Some people are very interested in fighting. Some people are very interested in talking, and but there's an intersection of people who are interested in both, and I'm really trying to find those. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that is interesting because you guys are adding a lot more narrative than you would expect in this, in a game like this, and I found that fascinating. Like just going down the side, but that was a really nice experience. It was a super enjoyable experience because it was. A lot of world building, a lot of information there that I otherwise wouldn't have known about the game, and I thought that was quite cool. was really, really nice. So I think it adds a
Cool.
lot, personally. And there is definitely an intersection of players that like both, I think. So with that in
Let's find
mind,
them.
yeah, no, right. With that in mind, you don't have your demo out, right? Do you have a timeline in
No,
which you want to release that?
we're planning a demo probably late February, early March.
Okay.
Things can change, obviously, so don't hold me to that. But that's our plan currently, and it's probably going to be somewhere around this length, but with a proper boss fight and a little bit more guided experience. Um, and we are probably going to enter early access sometimes late next year. I know it's not always the popular choice, kind of going early access, but I think for this particular game, we would benefit greatly from that.
Yeah.
It's our first real game, I guess, and we still have a lot to learn. So getting that feedback and tweaking the game and kind of polishing it based on how people interact with it, I think it's going to do wonders for it.
I do think early access for a roguelike game is a great idea, personally. I really do.
Yeah.
I think that it adds a lot because the community can then go in and give you a ton of feedback, and they will find, because you have so much randomly connected stuff in a roguelike, especially with one where you're choosing levels like this, they're going to find everything. They're going to find so much stuff that a smaller team is never going to be able to. So I think it's an awesome idea. Your guys' only other game was Lawbringer, which I don't think I've heard of that one. So this is your second game as a studio.
Yes. Lawbringer was it's a really tiny game. It's an arena brawler that's very kind of very tiny but fun. It's a bit on the hard side. So if you like kind of hard action games that you can play in 5-minute bursts, this is probably a good choice. But it really serves as a way for us to go through the motions and publish a game on Steam. To just see what's expected of us from the building a game and finishing a game to supporting it after launch. And we wanted to build something really small to test that.
It's also
and
cool
for Sova,
I'll go for it. Keep going.
Go ahead.
Continue. Too late.
For Sova, I wanted to say we received a grant from Creative Europe media branch that kind of supports narrative video games. So it allowed us to be a bit more ambitious and gather a team and kind of try to make something that we wanted to make without many restrictions. So yeah, that was really cool.
Honestly, that's fantastic. We've heard so many devs throughout all of this talk about how they got grants from their government, or they got things like tax breaks and things like that. It is always important to look to see if you can get any grants from any groups that you can, whether it's the government or other secondary groups. Like, look for that. They do exist. There's a ton of them, actually. So it's a very positive thing for your studio if you can capture one of those. I'm looking at your past game, Lawbringer. Would you say that this is an indication of the level of polish that you guys would like to see and go beyond that for your next game? Because this is very, very polished. It looks fantastic. It looks really, really good, and it looks like it's a lot of fun. And I can see that the UI and everything like that looks like it's kind of built out a lot more than it is in Sova. And Sova has got a more dramatic art style and a lot more, put into that. So it does feel like a leveling up of your original game, right? Like you had this idea, and then you're like, cool, we tested some things out. Let's do the big one now. Would you say that that's fair?
Oh, definitely. That's more than fair. The core combat mechanics, swinging your sword, shooting the gun, and having the abilities and perks to support that as you level up. That's what we tried in Lawbringer, and it only evolved in Sova. It's obviously much more involved and much more complex, but the fundamentals are there.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. And it's cool because it shows you guys have a history of making something and like putting it out there. And it is always a good idea, in my opinion, to release something very tiny first, because you'll learn how to launch on Steam. And like, I know you've been through the process now, but a lot of people don't realize this. All of these images, like all this text, you do all of that, man. And you have to do it for every language you support. And so on and said, you have to, the Steam trading cards, they don't just make those, you do it. Like, you build all of it, man. So it's like a whole thing. I'm interested, are you guys going to be shooting for Steam Deck compatibility for this?
Absolutely. It's already working pretty well on Steam Deck out of the box due to Proton Magic. And we've designed the game controller first. So it pretty much works outside the box,
Nice.
but with some added jank. So yeah, definitely Steam Deck compatible. It's a good fit for Steam Deck, I think. There's some UI things that we need to figure out, like the better readability of text, obviously. But outside of that, it should be a fairly straightforward port, and we're definitely doing it.
I think that's the only thing that catches a lot of people off guard when they're going to Steam Deck is they're like, cool, I got your controller supposed to work. Steam Deck will, like, or Valve will decline you, and you have to go back and fix it if your text is too small. They have like a limit for how big the text is allowed to be, and if it's too tiny, they're like, go remake all of your text, which can be a nightmare. So something to keep in mind for sure for people. I always think that's funny because it's like it catches everyone off guard. It caught me off guard. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll go fix that. You know,
it's a relatively tiny screen, so yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steam Deck is awesome, and it just kind of feels like this game could work really well on it.
Yeah, it does actually.
If we can make it readable.
Yeah, it felt very, very good on controller, I have to say. Like playing it through controller, it definitely felt super smooth. For me, it felt less smooth on mouse and keyboard, but whatever. Some games play better on controller. Some games play better on mouse and keyboard for me. So like with that, I think it is going to feel great on Steam Deck. Like I really do. So I'm excited to see you guys put it up there.
Awesome.
This is neat. With that in mind, a really tough question, and you don't have to have an answer for this. You can always ask chat how they feel about it, so the community will answer with how they feel. How much are you going to be looking for in terms of pricing?
I would be very interested to hear what the chat has to say about it. But we have a number in mind. I think for early access, that's probably going to be $20, and then $25 for full release. Obviously things might change, but this is something that kind of I'm thinking about. So yeah, well, $19.99 if we have to be.
Yeah, you have to
marketing about it.
Yeah, Steam makes you do it. You don't get a choice. This is so dumb. So people are saying 10 to 15, 10 to 15, $20, 20, 15 to 25. You'd pay 20, sounds perfect. 15, 20 is fair, yeah. 20 seems perfect. Okay, so a lot of people seem to be agreeing. Chat seems to be agreeing with the pricing. I do think it's interesting when you launch into early access. Do you have a general time limit in which you are planning to support it in early access? Do you have a goal or a roadmap for that you're interested in doing? Or is it more of one of those things of like you guys are going to keep it in early access, keep making stuff on it with the community until you feel comfortable?
Our original plan is to keep it in early access for about 12 months. I think that's a reasonable period to kind of hash out all of the issues that we find and the polish, and to kind of create the additional content to finish up the game. But I'm keeping an open mind, and if we feel like we need more time, we're going to take more time. The game should be, when it's done, the game should be done and enjoyable and kind of accessible. So, yeah.
Nice. If you could go back and give yourself advice from the beginning of this journey, what would be the biggest thing you would tell yourself as you started to make this game? The thing that you've learned the most throughout this?
That's a tough one. Yeah. Be careful with isometric graphic.
Really? Is it like a layering issue, or is it something else?
No, I mean, obviously there's been much bigger problems than that, but just one that comes to mind. It looks gorgeous, and definitely no regrets there. But it caused a lot of interesting, unexpected problems that we had to solve. Yes, layering is one, but like things that you wouldn't normally think about, like movement speed, right? And it's interesting because it's a 2D game, it's screen space, but when you're doing isometric, you're basically simulating real space in some way. You're simulating some kind of perspective. So our character is not moving 100% at the same speed horizontally and vertically. I think it's 0.75 at this point in in favor of the x-axis because it kind of felt weird in both ways. So, it's a squash perspective. So you should, like, realistically, you should be moving half your speed, but that felt too sluggish. But then if it's 100%, then it was too fast. So we had to find a balance that works, that kind of subjectively feels good. I don't know, bullets passing behind stuff or, hitting stuff. That was an interesting challenge as well. Like, a lot of effects work from the perspective of where you're standing, where your feet are, right? Which kind of makes sense. Your position in this world. But then if you shoot at somebody's head, you don't expect that bullet to miss, and it would miss, kind of real space, I guess. But we're cheating there, and if anything hits your sprite or enemy sprite, it's going to connect. So those kinds of little things that you don't necessarily think about when you just say, yeah, well, let's do isometric.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think that's super beneficial too, because we've got a lot of people in the community that make games or want to make games. So any insights like that are actually fantastic, because it's gonna save someone some time, like eventually. Oh, really like all these different builds. So what are you guys focusing on the most right now as a team? Like, what is the thing that you're trying to work on for this? Because you're leading up to your demo, and I know it's polish, but is there a specific area of polish that you're after over anything else?
Yeah, I would say how the controls feel, especially in combat, and how enemies feel, like their responsiveness to your actions, the feeling of hitting somebody, of doing damage, the balancing of it to an extent. But I'm not as worried about game being too hard, too easy at this point. It's more like whether it's fun to experiment with different abilities and to synergize stuff. Like you notice there's 5 ability slots, and each one of those has a couple of variants to them, and they all interact in some way and interact with the skills that you pick up. So making sure that all works well and that it's fun to experiment with, I think that's the primary focus right now.
Yeah, I really like the way it feels so far. So any extra onto that would be quite cool. I super dig that. I think you guys are making something neat. I really enjoy the prevalence of dots, I guess. Like, a lot of the times you'll get games like this and they have like kind of a prevalence of just quick action, deal instant damage. But you guys have added bleeds, you've added poisons, like all this kind of stuff feels quite cool. And I find that to be more rare in a lot of, action RPGs, especially, when you're dealing with a roguelike. And I like that. I like that a lot. Moving on.
For sure.
Well, that was one that did feel weird to me, is the gun feels really cool when you pull it off, but it also locks you in place, which is like the scariest thing imaginable. Because you guys have made a really highly mobile game, so when like that feels like it takes a long time. If that's the kind of stuff that I could agree with. Yeah, people in chat were talking about it, like you stop moving and it's like you don't have time to survive that. It's really interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's all stuff you guys work out in the demo, right? Like when you get the demo out there and you start doing playtests, you're going to get a ton of feedback from players. Is there a place?
Yeah, obviously that's the.
Oh, go for
it. Yeah, sure. So we have our games Discord, and everybody's free to join that and chat to us about it. Please give us as much feedback as you can. Like, every bit helps. We're not gonna maybe agree with everything, but it's gonna impact how we think about our game design for sure. So please tell us everything. Yeah, on the subject of kind of guns and damage over time things, I definitely agree. It's an interesting design conundrum. You want to make it reactive and interactive for the player. So there's a lot of skills that kind of build up on that. So if you poison somebody, there's a couple of skills that kind of extend what poison can do. Contagion can, kind of spread poison all around if enemies interact with one another. But then there's this really cool interaction that I personally like, and that's a skill that combines with guns. So taking that skill and shooting somebody who is poisoned makes all of the accumulated damage over time, explode in a single burst, and then contain, well, infect everybody else around them. So those kinds of interactions, I think, are pretty interesting and make interesting decisions for the player to use.
That's a cool design philosophy, to be honest with you. Is like the combinations of these different effects that really adds a lot to these kinds of games, and I think that's cool. I dig that. Yeah, because I love, you get a cascading combo, you're like, oh, I found the one thing that I love to build. You know, spread poison everything in the room, make it explode. I
exactly,
like
exactly, yeah. And we want to support those that experimentation and finding what's broken. You know, I think. Like, I'm less concerned when we're talking about balancing. I'm less concerned about things being, you know, stronger than other things. I prefer when people have the ability to find broken builds and go wild with them. Especially in a roguelike, you know, this is one run, and in this one run, you might find the build that kind of works really well for you, but it might not happen again, I guess. So if you do manage to find synergies that work really well, just go with it and break the game, make it very easy for this one run, but it's going to feel fun, I think.
So the next question I have, and this is actually from chat, is, and I agree with this, what influenced the complexity of your narration in game? Because there's a lot of really interesting language use. There's a lot of like kind of like I don't know. There's a lot of fantastic writing in there, and I'm very surprised because a lot of games don't go that route of being so deep and complex with the writing, and you guys have, and I like it quite a lot.
Well, thank you. Well, there's many different books and movies and games that we enjoy, and kind of together found the collection of themes and subjects and writers that we really enjoy. On the game side, I think obviously Planescape Torment, Disco Elysium, those kinds of narratively rich games with weird worlds that kind of, the world itself feels like a puzzle that you are set to explore, not just as a set piece for the story. But then on the literature side, there's Southern Reach trilogy, there's Picnic by the Road, or I don't know, Stephen King's Dark Tower. There's a lot of influences that went into this. Most are, you know, some kind of a post-apocalyptic weird settings, but yeah.
I like that though. Like it feels that way, so it makes sense. Like this feels like those influences have really come through, you know, and it's very, very good writing. And it also kind of led into a little bit of, you know, Cthulhu-esque kind of cosmic horror at a few moments there. At least it felt that way, and I really enjoyed that personally.
Yeah, definitely. Lovecraft has a permanent influence on every possible piece of fiction today, I think. But it's nice to, you know, tap into that and find something that's familiar to people, but used in a way that is maybe a little bit unexpected. I'm not gonna spoil much there, but you know, at some point you'll find out what's behind that door. So.
But yeah, I don't know.
So also, you know, we're trying this seriousness in writing. We're trying to also offset it with some humor and some, you know, dumb ideas, because it's fun. You know, you just want to explore what's possible. So this whole idea behind there's a religious cult formed around basically what is just a smart piece of technology, is absurd in its core. But in this world, which is kind of malleable and negotiable, the reality is not objective reality. It's what we all agree that it is. It then carries weight. So, you know, Silkman and his idiot followers, they feel like, you know, there's something there, then there's probably something there that exists and that in turn influences them, if that makes sense. So I think playing with those concepts and exploring them is a lot of fun, and characters kind of naturally emerge from that tendency to kind of explore our themes and world.
I really like that. Yeah, I really do, and it does come through entirely. I think it is very beautiful. and kind of unsettling at the same time, but unsettling in a I want to find out more, even if it leads to bad outcomes for my character kind of way. You know?
Yeah, awesome. There are no bad choices, just
Yeah.
fun ones.
Exactly. It is. It's nice execution of the experience. I agree. I'm interested in seeing how this goes over in your guys' demo. I'm really excited for that because you got a cool world that you're crafting here. I anticipate there's gonna be a lot of really interested people with that. To be honest with you, I'm one of them. So, hell yeah, it
Very
feels
glad to
very
hear that.
smooth now too. Let's see. So, I'm interested after that. Let's see. If you could give any advice for a young dev that's just starting now, we have a lot of people in the community that do game jams. They want to try. Maybe they're on the fence about trying stuff. What would be your best piece of advice for them?
Can I have two?
Yeah, go for it. You can have as many as you want.
Okay. So the first one is a little bit generic. I think everybody's heard this, but it's just really true. And that's just go and make games and make small games. By making those small games and try to get them into hands of your players as soon as possible to get that feedback. Because your first games are going to suck and you need to know why they suck and what aspects of them are good and what aspects of them need some work. So kind of by making something that's really small, you can quickly iterate on it. And by getting it to as many people as you can, you're going to see what works for other people and how you feel about it, that I guess. So that's first. The second would be find like-minded people and convince them to make games with you. Solo dev has its merits, and I think there's a lot to be said about you doing everything, and it might feel as a more cohesive whole. But I always found that collaborating with people, there's where the magic is, and the way people interpret your ideas and bring something of their own into it is almost always going to be much greater than what you can make yourself. So it's a good opportunity to learn. Game dev is hard. There's a lot of things that go on into it. So find every opportunity to learn from other people who are better programmers or better artists or better writers than you, and it's really magical when you find good people to work with.
I have found the strangest creature just now. Gasnar, the scavenger. I love this. I love having little side weird things like this. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really dig this. You guys are making something cool, and I completely agree with that. Completely agree with your statement on that, to be honest with you. It's always nice because every developer approaches this differently. We had a team that came on the other day that said don't make video games. It's just I was like, all right, man. And then he's like, the reason I say that is so that you make a game out of spite. And I was like, that's great, actually. That's fantastic. He's like, no, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna make one. You can't control me, Dad. That kind of a thing. Just made me laugh. But I love that. It's always different
That's
advice.
cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's very funny. Yeah. He's big into the picture, makes him seem. Yeah, he's creepy down there, isn't he? Yeah, I love these art panels as well. They look quite nice. But no, it's always cool to see different perspectives of that. So what part of the world are you and your team in? Are you guys an international team? Are you localized in one location or?
We're all based in Serbia.
Yeah. So you brought it up earlier, I believe. Yeah. You said Serbia. But I didn't know if it was the whole team.
Yeah. I might have. Yes. We're all here. It's a relatively small country and a small dev community. It has expanded recently, and I've seen more and more really cool games coming from Serbia. But yeah, it's definitely a small community, and just kind of a lot of creatives that usually outsource. So it's fun to see people trying more and more to build something of their own, especially in the indie scene. It's pretty exciting.
Is there a lot of dev meetups and stuff there? We have dev meetups here, but they're mostly only in kind of larger cities, right? So it's kind of hard if you're in a very rural area in the United States, you're probably not going to have a lot of developer support network there. But is that a very common thing there at all? I don't know much about indie dev development in Serbia. We've been talking to each dev based on their home country and asking about it because it's cool. It's cool to find out what it's like for you guys out there.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely stuff going on. There's this kind of national NGO, Serbian Games Association, that is trying to gather devs around and organize meetups and kind of knowledge sharing and events and stuff. Most of that is happening in Belgrade, the capital city. We're based in Niš, so we're not like close enough for that to be common for us. It's definitely a bit more on the quiet side here, but yeah, it's growing. I think it's gaming is starting to get recognized as naturally emerging industry, I guess, and there's a lot more interest than 5 or 10 years ago. So yeah.
No, that's cool though. It's always neat because like every indie scene is very different. Like out here in Washington, there's meetups and stuff, but it rains like 75% of the year, so you got to go out. Like everyone's like, I don't know if I want to do that, But no, it's cool. Like I love that kind of a thing. There was a place that I knew of in Oregon that's a barcade, which is like an arcade bar combo thing, and they did indie meetups every month, and you'd bring your game in on laptops, and everyone would play them. And I just thought that was really awesome. So if you are out there and you're making stuff, look to see if you have any meetups near you. That every area has a different culture for it, and every one of those meetups is super beneficial. You get a ton of feedback on your weird game that you're making, and you may learn something from somebody else. It's all very positive.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I dig it. Well, we are almost at time. Is there anything that you want to tell chat about what you guys are doing, or maybe just anything in general?
Well, our public playtest is currently open. Applications are open. It's going to run, I think, probably until the end of first week of January. So sign up and try our game and give us as much feedback as you can. And then, wishlist the game, tell everybody and all that. Obviously, if you like it and if you find something interesting in it, find us on Discord and ask us questions. We're active there, and it's not a huge community, but we're happy to chat with you. So ask us anything that comes to mind.
I have linked out the Discord to you guys a minute ago, but I linked the page as well. Sign up for their playtest, man, because you'll get in and then you get to play it. And then also wishlist the game if you're interested, because the more you wishlist, the more that Steam wants to show it to more people. So you're helping a dev completely for free. It's a fantastic thing to do. I think your guys' game has a lot of potential to do something unique, which is, to me, the marriage of your deep narrative with a lot of fantastic writing, a lot of kind of more complex writing than I'm used to seeing, especially in games like this, and you have an action RPG roguelike, which feels really good. Like, that combo together is something that I've not really seen. So like I'm digging it. I'm interested to see you guys. I want to see your launch. I want to see when you put the demo out. So when you do, please let us know, and I'll let the rest of the community know, because that's awesome, man.
Absolutely, we'll do that. Thank you so much for organizing this, Thor. It was a pleasure chatting with you. Is it really your birthday today?
No. They fooled you. No.
Okay. I was about to. Yeah.
Damn it. They got you. No, my birthday's in July. They'll say it's every day.
Happy birthday whenever it is. So,
yeah, that's funny. That's so funny. Look at them. They're so excited now. Cool. It's been a pretty good one. I actually have a tag on my stream of not my birthday, but they say it every day. It's so funny. Yeah, another one. We got another one. Yeah, exactly. Goblins. That's so funny. But no, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Well, fooled me.
Oh, it's been a pleasure talking to you. You guys' game is awesome, to be real. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what you guys make. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. And let's stay in touch.
Have a good one.
Bye. Bye-bye.